Greetings, fellow soothing historical narrators. Tiki here.
Hey, take a while too.
And while y'all sit on down and we'll spin you a tale about Tiki's Universe, the show where we discuss. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm not nearly as good enough. That's a fail on my part, Jacob. But props to Marco, man. Props to Marco. He's got an amazing Southern accent. Anyways, yeah, Tiki's Universe, folks. It's the show where we have all the cartoon programming that we talk about under one umbrella. We have Star vs. Forces of Evil, Steven Universe, coming soon, stuff like Big Hero 6, Tangled, DuckTales, and Jacob. Jacob, you just Samurai Jack, yes. Jacob, you just told me that we're in for it's official. We're in for the month of Milo on Milo Murphy's Law. That's the thing. Strap in. So we're really going to town on the content, especially on the Disney XD side of things. So Jacob, Star vs. Force of Evil. Oh my God, season 2 it's had a couple missteps along the way. Preston Changeo. I'm sorry. Yep. I shouldn't pick on just that episode, but it's had a few missteps. But I think overall, Star vs. Force of Evil has been incredibly solid in season 2, and it's built up. Dragon, it's weird, but I want to say the toffee thing, like the closest thing I can compare the toffee thing in this season is if anyone's watched Mr. Robot, they stretch the Tyrell Wellick thing out for 10 episodes, just like this does. It's like. So I don't know. It's like they've done a great job of like waiting for Toffee until the very end, and we're all excited about it. They've done a wonderful job of building Ludo up. And what we're going to get into now, Jacob, is the character development, which I think the penultimate episode of the season focuses on.
Yep, can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, so once again, we kind of had a situation where I think Collateral Damage is like, frankly, for the premise, it's a better episode than it has any right to be. But there's not as much to talk about with that. So we'll talk about that pretty quickly. We'll spend about maybe like 5 to 10 minutes on that. But then we'll probably spend a bit longer on Just Friends, which is, really a great kind of the feels, Jacob. I mean, I don't know if saying the feels is dated yet or not already, but the feels in that episode just got to me with Just Friends.
Who cares if it's dated?
right. Anyways, Jacob, let's get into Collateral Damage. This is one of the funnier episodes of the series, I think.
Especially just how ridiculous it is. I mean, this is the show in like its wackiest premise. They're upset over a broken possum statue.
Oh, they're not just upset. They're just like traumatically upset.
Even Brittany, who we haven't seen all season, is upset about it.
Okay. You know the single best joke in this whole damn episode, Jacob?
I think I talked about it earlier, but
the Ferguson and Alonso joke.
Yeah, yeah, it's like I haven't talked to you all season. I haven't talked to you all.
But you guys are just chilling in the background, and then like we get the shot of their hands waving, and we don't even see them. I mean, it's like that is so wonderful that they acknowledge that.
Yep, couple episodes to go in this season. Haven't seen them yet.
I don't know, like Jacob, we haven't really ever talked about Ferguson and Alonso ever when we've talked about this show, but I'd say it's fair to say they were one of the weaker points of season 1, and I don't miss them in season 2.
At least they acknowledge they still exist.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, you guys still exist.
You're just in the background doing your thing. Okay, so the image we're on right now, Jacob, this is a fantastic piece of animation if you watch it, where at first the statue's fine, but then the eyeball pops off, and then it just, the head falls off, and it just, like, it's this great chain of events. It kind of reminds me of something out of early SpongeBob or something like that, if that makes any sense.
Yep. And we talked about the scenes before that, though, how it, like, kind of, like, builds up how Stars basically lost everything this season.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I mean,
like,
they really have done a great job of that. And we, and think about it. This season, we went on break after the loss of Glossaric. And, Jacob, I remember, like, we were probably speculating, oh, maybe Glossaric will be gone for, like, 3, maybe 4 episodes. No, they have kept Glossaric gone, and we felt Glossaric's loss.
And Ludo has him, and it was just as amazing as we predicted it would be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was. Pudding! Somebody's earned themselves some pudding!
I say that this, like, combined with the Star Wars talking about earlier, and then combined with the ending of the next episode, like, Star's about ready to lose it seems.
Oh man, yeah. I can't wait to talk about the next episode. We're really just, I mean, with all respect to this episode, it is a very fun episode. There's a lot of good humor, good comedic timing, and whatnot. It's definitely the lighter of the two.
Heck yeah. But what else can we say about this episode?
Honestly, not a ton. I mean, I think the principal's a really fun character this time around.
Yeah, this is like the most you've ever seen him.
Right. But he gets something to do. He's fun. He's just like dramatically telling the story about how he hid behind the statue.
That statue saved my life.
If it weren't for Otis, I'd be dead.
I think he was overreacting a little bit.
Okay, should we bring up probably the most adult thing that has ever aired on Disney?
Where's the kissing hole?
God, I can't believe that made it in there. I really can't.
Me neither. I mean, either the censors found it so hilarious they decided to keep it in, or they completely missed it.
You know what? I totally think it's the former. I 100% believe it. There's no way they missed it.
Yeah, it's like a harmless enough joke where younger people wouldn't understand what it means, but
exactly.
Those people with your mind in the gutter know exactly what it implies.
Oh God, it doesn't take your mind doesn't have to be too far in the gutter to know what it means if you're an adult.
Yeah, considering she wasn't even facing the head.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like the episode is really fun just to see like the school just in this downward spiral of anarchy and chaos. Like I said, like I think early SpongeBob is really a good comparison to make with this one, I think, which is a very good comparison to make. It's not the most deep thing in the world. It's certainly not one of the most continuity heavy episodes of Star, but it's just a lot of fun and it has really, really fun comedic timing.
Kind of reminds me of the episode Wormy in a way.
Yeah, Wormy, my personal favorite episode of SpongeBob of all time, Squid's Day Off. Yeah, episodes of that nature, which, like I said, that's high praise. High praise because early SpongeBob is, fantastic comedic timing. If that's what I'm going to compare it, then this is a very strong episode. Like I said, it's just like in the midst of all this, all the character development. I mean, it is good to see Star kind of, kind of in the mix of that. She is kind of still on the fritz regarding the loss of Glossaric and whatnot. So it's good they acknowledge that. But really, you don't really need to be following the show to watch this episode and be entertained by it, which can be a good thing sometimes.
Yeah, but it's like a good time. Like this could be considered like a breather episode.
Right. It's like I feel like you and I could get like really hung up on episodes that aren't super continuity heavy. But, it's like episodes like this make me realize that sometimes it really is good just to have a very fun premise that doesn't necessarily have to be like a game changer of a plot or advance the Ludo storyline or anything like that. And if executed well, it can be like an incredibly solid addition to the season. And that's why I don't like the Preston Changeout episode, because that episode just was not executed well.
This episode has started doing something wrong in a way that actually works with her character, and like it's a ridiculous premise, one that probably wouldn't actually happen ever anywhere. I mean, especially if she went through the trouble to making a new statue.
You know what, though? I think it is kind of like an illogical logic sort of thing. Like, I work at the Disney Family Museum, and so it's like there are definitely a few choice artifacts in there that I could see the staff absolutely losing it over if they got destroyed somehow. The model of Disneyland certainly being one of them. The model, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I can kind of relate to it to a certain extent, like the personal history behind it and everything like that.
Yeah, they celebrated their first victory against the possums.
Mm-hmm. And let's briefly touch on the foreshadowing that it might represent. You're in the know, more in the know about it than I am, so go ahead.
And so some people, this actually isn't one of my theories, but it's like something that's been thrown around that the whole humans driving out the possums from their land is extremely similar to what happened to the monsters in Muni,
Totally.
and that it could be and that people have drawn connected to how it could like be possibly played with in the future. Like, I mean, I don't know exactly what the theory dictates or how it's supposed to tie into things. They like it's kind of like they're not so different after all.
Yeah. I'm just coming up with this on the fly, but maybe the people in the school and their obsession with the possum, could also be a little bit of a hint at the monster love thing. I don't know. Putting it out there.
Who knows?
Anyways, I think that's about all we have on collateral damage. I'm surprised we got that much of a conversation out of it. So
Just how good of an episode it is.
yeah, I guess so. So let's get to this episode. Just Friends. God, so good. So good.
Yeah.
Jacob, you know what I love about this episode is that it subverted expectations for me.
What do you mean?
Well, I totally thought this episode was going to end with Starco. Like, I thought Starco was going to be a thing right up until, like, towards the end of the episode. I was really worried for Jackie, especially when Marco and Star start lip syncing to each other and stuff like that. We have that great moment where Marco's about to, he grabs Star's hand as well as Jackie's.
Yep.
So I think this episode does a fantastic job of subverting the expectation that this episode is either going to be Jackie realizing that Marco and Star are too close and breaking up with him because of that, which is honestly where I thought they were going with it, honestly. And or B, kind of the more dramatic route, but Starco getting together at the end of it.
Listen, as much as I ship it hard, like I told you, I'm honestly kind of glad they didn't go with either of those options.
Yeah, like I said, it subverts expectations in the best way for me, because throughout the whole episode, I was just like, oh, they better not just end the Jackie storyline after, like, literally she's, like, off screen and the entire time, like, between now and, and Bon Bon the birthday clown. So that would have really pissed me off if we didn't get any time with her. So I'm so glad they did it. Like I said, that's, like, the highest praise I could give the episode. Jacob, I also really love this moment in particular. I just love the visual of it, how the characters have progressed and whatnot, Marco raising both of their hands up. This episode, makes me nostalgic. There's so many feelings I have attached to this episode.
I know what you mean.
I mean, let's talk about the first half, which is just like, it is painful, man. It is painful. That's all I can say.
I make bad shirts.
First of all, when Marco's like stuffed in that shirt, I'm just wanting to scream at the TV, like, just take the shirt off.
Or put it under your hoodie.
Right. Oh, God.
Or have Star Magic, you have a bigger one.
That would be a thing, too. Yeah. I think definitely the most relatable moment in the whole episode for me, the moment where I was just like, oh my God, that is totally me. I have totally been in that exact same position before socially, is the moment where, first of all, it's funny to see Marco fail at riding a skateboard. That's fun. But we have the baby ducks, and then Marco's kind of sitting off to the sidelines, and he's like, ooh, I want to help. And it scares the baby ducks. And then they're like, Marco, you're ruining it. Dragon, when Marco goes off in the corner and sulks, I'm just like, that is totally me. That is totally like exactly how I would react to that situation.
I know the feeling.
I mean, it captured that feeling of just like feeling like you're out of place so well for me. And I mean, it's like I have trouble socially, Jacob, so it is definitely incredibly relatable for me. Oh boy.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well.
But again, the great thing about the episode is that it doesn't like go the traditional route of like, oh, Marco, you're not as cool as I thought you were. In fact, Jackie is like, she's developed into one of my favorite characters on the show just
Really.
because
She likes him because of it.
exactly she likes him for his awkwardness. And I'm not just saying she's one of my favorite characters on the show because it's kind of just like, oh, I wish I could find a girl like that, No, it's more because I do feel like they've done a good job of slowly fleshing out her personality, where in season 1 she was definitely more of a shallow character, or at least shallow on the surface level. But as we've seen, especially through this episode and Bon Bon in particular, she's definitely got a lot more going for her than just, being kind of like the object of affection type of character.
I agree. I was about to use the same words.
Object of affection.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, again, they've done a great job of kind of subverting that trope for her. Okay, the concert itself is just really fun. First of all, if you break down the semantics of this tour, I just love it. And I'm a big music guy. I like to go to concerts and stuff. So, Jacob, it just amuses me to no end. Like, if you think about this tour that these guys are on, that they're literally renting out prisons and like breaking, like they're playing all these prisons like Johnny Cash style, except they're having the concerts on the outside of the prison, and just so they can get that thematic like breaking out of the prison thing at the start of it.
I thought that was just like a set or something. I thought that was just like a concert set or something.
It could be a concert set, but think if they were doing it the other way. How funny would that be?
That'd be hilarious. I don't think the police would allow that.
I mean, if they're just like, yeah, sure, we'll give you a wall that's not being used. It's fine. We'll block it off as long as you pay for the wall. I don't know. I just love the idea of like a band like doing a tour of prison shows. Just for the theatricality of breaking out of prison as a motif. And again, with Marco, he's really into it. He's just like, oh my god, the theatricality is amazing. So I don't know, Jacob, for that reason, I'd like to think they went the extra mile and actually did get a prison. I don't know, I'd like to think so. I doubt it, but
it's fun headcanon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Okay, the concert is again, like it's totally a social situation I've been in. Oh God, but a better social situation that I've been in. You know what I mean? Just this is the type of thing where this, like nights like this, can define your teenage years, I think.
Oh yeah.
That's like, and I, of course, I don't want to get personal with it. I don't want to share any personal stories or anything, but. Like, I don't know, Jacob. I do have a thing with concerts. Like I said, I've grown up with concerts. My town actually has a very famous concert hall. It's one of the last places that Houdini performed in. It's got a really long history to it. So we get some really good acts. So, most of my memories are tied to that particular venue. And I don't know, I'm just rambling on like a nostalgia fest here, but that's what this episode does for me emotionally.
So show's far reaching.
I guess so. Yeah, and then I guess the only thing left to talk about is the devastating ending.
Yeah, like after they're singing their favorite song together. Like,
which honestly, in that moment, I think like the Starco shippers are just like, yes, yes, yes.
And then, like I said, if you break down the lyrics, it actually kind of describes their situation in a way.
It is like, it's great. It's great. I love it. And I love how that whole thing is foreshadowed. We see the song in the beginning. We see them lip syncing. We see the whole thing. And then that moment in that song is just like so much more meaningful once we get around to the end of the episode.
And then they're like, he's sure he's holding hands with both, but they're holding hands. They're singing it together. They're having a good time. And then Star looks over. What does he see? And what does she see?
Oh boy, just them. Just well, first of all, she doesn't just see Marco and Jackie locking lips. She sees basically everyone in the crowd locking lips.
Even a few LGBT characters.
Yes, totally. Dragon again, just seeing everyone in a concert like with a couple besides yourself. Totally a situation I've been in before.
And then after that, she sees Marco and Jackie kissing. And
Yep.
And then here's the thing, though, what's going through her head. She has no reason to actually be. I mean, not to be upset. Of course, she has a reason to be upset, but no reason to try and bring them up or anything like that. I mean, they're both happy together, and they've known each other longer. And that's what's heartbreaking about it.
That's exactly you're right. That's a really good point.
I mean, she has no reason to make them to do anything. Even I think she just. And it was so nice, actually, when Star decided that when Marco tried to go after her, too.
Mm-hmm.
like, and when he hugged her, like, you're the best friend anybody could. Like, after she, like,
oh, God, that is just like, no, that is the complete wrong thing to say. Oh, God.
Yeah, especially, oh, I came down here to feel their sweat.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like, it's also trying to probably hide her tears, maybe. I don't know. But, like,
so, I think in that respect, one of the great things this episode does is it totally makes the switch where in the first half of the episode, you are absolutely sympathetic towards Marco. And then in the second half of the episode, you are absolutely sympathetic towards Star.
Yeah, and like she's like, no, you can go enjoy it with your girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
you can almost hear the sad yet vindictive in her voice.
Yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff.
And yeah, then like you're the best friend of I could ask for. She's like, yay, great. and then there's a scene where he and Jackie watching. Star walks out as a song like, I knew we'd never be apart till the day you broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then she fired a blast at the sky and destroyed a sign. Symbolism, anyone?
I guess so.
Till the day you broke my heart. That's totally foreshadowing and symbolizing something.
Yeah, but overall, a fantastic episode. Really emotional. Hits a lot of high points for me. Brings back a lot of nostalgia for me about my teenage years, which is a great credit to the episode. And yeah, I'm just really, really satisfied, and a really perfect kind of note to go out on leading into the finale.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet ending. I mean,
oh, totally.
I mean, it's a happy end, but also you can kind of sense like, yeah, things are probably going to be the same between them from now on.
All right, Jacob. So let's talk about the season finale we have coming up. 2 different episodes, episode 21 and 22, both 22 minutes. It's going to be crazy. We're going to hopefully have them covered both on Monday. We'll have those both uploaded for you guys. Episode 21 is going to be Face the Music. Star and Marco work with singer, I don't know how to pronounce this, Rupert. I guess we'll Rupert.
I think it's Ruperiot or something. I don't know.
Ruperiot. I guess we'll find out in the episode, right?
For her song day,
which I have no idea what that is. That's probably a Muni thing. Definitely sounds like the lighter of the 2 episodes, of course.
Well, 22 minutes, and the last few 22-minute episodes we've received have been pretty heavy. So
that's true. But
I mean, then again, we are due for a lighthearted 22-minute episode, so we'll see.
But Star Crush is going to be epic.
Sure as heck hope so with a name like that.
That's all I have to say about it. Like, it's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. I'm hyped for it. They have such a good cliffhanger with the Ludo and Toffee thing, and we'll just see how all that resolves.
And I actually seen a bit of a trailer for it.
Oh boy.
I'm not. I won't say anything if you don't want me to.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Toffee is returned, or Toffee's voice is heard. I mean,
Hmm.
and he actually sees Queen Butterfly goes moon.
That's actually, yeah, I've heard people like, yeah, I think there's gonna be a rematch between Moon and Toffee, and it's gonna be fucking epic.
I sure as heck hope so, because they're definitely building up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a letdown, which I'm kind of hoping it, which I'm obviously hoping it isn't, they're probably gonna have a lot of angry fans on their hands. But hey, we have high hopes for it. Hope they don't let us down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's anything like Storm the Castle was for last season, I mean, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, that will do it. I will see you guys later. Until next time, when things get a little weird and a little wild for the last time in season 2, which is sad but exciting.
Until time knows when.
Yep. Preston Change-O!